What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another PGA Tour 2K21 video. Now you may be asking yourself, what the heck? These are supposed to come out Saturday. What happened to these coming out Saturday? Well, we're gonna change it up. These are now gonna come out every Sunday because I want to be able to play the round one conditions that everybody will get on the challenge circuit. So what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be playing the challenge circuit course, Tasoto Golf Club, on the settings that they are on for round number one. So before we hop into Tasoto Golf Club, this might actually be one of the first courses where distance isn't the absolute king. It helps, but there's a lot of places to lay up. There's a lot of shorter par threes. There are some long ones, and there are some long par fives. But the thing with the long par fives that are in here, you're not gonna really make there in two for the long ones, so you could actually get away with playing a shorter bag if you want to move down to something that maybe, you know, gives you a little bit more forgiveness or a little bit more swing playing if you're struggling with that. You can absolutely play a shorter bag and get away with it for this week's course. I also have a feeling that this week's course is going to see a big split between people who score at this course very well and people who struggle at it, because for some of these holes it is a very skinny, narrow landing spot for where you need to hit it, and you will have to rely on recovering from it. I do have a couple of fairways in regulation under 50% at this course, but I'm still able to recover to get it to an 8 under, and that's mainly due to the fact that the greens are pretty easy on this course as compared to some of the other greens that we have seen so far. So let's jump into DeSoto Golf Club. This is your challenge circuit course guide. I'll walk you through multiple shots. Some people said, I got some feedback where it's like, yeah, you know, you could just lay up here, and then they see me take a driver and just absolutely dot it onto the fairway. So I'm going to give you multiple options for your shots and where you can play them to maybe help the people who, you know, play different bags or play the course differently. So let's hop on out there to DeSoto Golf Club. Here we go. This course is quite gorgeous too, by the way. And we're going to start off right off the get-go. This is a hole absolutely can lay up. You know, if you're not feeling that confident in the driver, because you do have a very narrow landing space here. It helps if the wind's a little bit in our face. But if you want to lay up and just get it, you know, somewhere in this region, you know, if you actually do shoot it in there, look at that. You'll have a $140 to the hole. So you can get away with doing that. You can hit it up here though if you're looking for maybe just a shorter wedge or even a pitch shot, which we're gonna try to do here. But this is the first hole where you can play this one or two ways and both are viable. Well, we slowed it to start it off. That's not how you want to start it off today. Get to see the recovery game. Rough is heavy, rough is nasty. Good thing you can kind of play this out a little bit. See if we can recover one here. Not as long as I needed it to be, but we can still work on maybe getting a par here. But like I said, the greens, especially around the hole, like within 30 feet, there's a couple holes that have some break, but for the most part, this is the type of break you're going to be seeing for at least the first two rounds. Not a whole lot. You know, especially comparatively to the courses we have been playing lately. Gonna miss it right. Yep. Also, it fluctuates between high wind and default wind. Default wind is it's a low to a medium. It fluctuates a little bit, but for the challenge circuit this week, it is low to medium for default, and high wind all the rest. I don't know what, you know, round 2, 3, and 4 have. Round 1 is high wind. You might get 3 rounds of high wind this week. Just gotta wait and see once you actually play your rounds. This is one of those long par 5s I was talking about. You're not gonna get there in 2. Just play it off the widest portion over here. You'll have a layup coming in on your second shot, just short of these bunkers up here. And then you'll have a wedge coming in for your third. If we do get the wind to our back, you can try to get ballsy with it, and try to push it, you know, through this gap right here, through this gap, and hopefully not go into the sand trap. Maybe put a little bit of a fade on it, or a draw if you're left-handed. But for the most scenarios, you're not going to get there in 2, so you might as well just not even risk. Just lay it up, take your wedge in. It's a pretty flat green again. Little bit of a plateau in it, but there's different levels. Just get your shot, get it close, try to go for that birdie. It's gonna pull it over a little bit more than I wanted. Still work out though. Again, not really that much break in the putt. As long as you hit it on that second level, you're good. You are good. Another one of the holes where you can lay up, or if you maybe had a shorter driver, you know, you can maybe try to shoot the gap through here. We're gonna go for it. I don't know if high wind. Sometimes I make it, sometimes I don't. Depends on what the wind is. But this is another one of those holes where you can lay it up, and you know, if you do lay it up, you'll have a little bit coming in, $165 to about $150. But still, that's nothing. And you can still stick it, especially with the back pin. We're gonna try to drive it though. And we're probably gonna end up in the bunker because we fasted it. Oh, you get to see playing from the bunker here, which is easy to get out of. Some of these aren't so easy to get out of though, mainly due to the fact that they have these, like, this is a pretty steep incline up. There are some instances where you do have to pitch out of them, because if you try to hit something else out of it, you will actually hit lip. So there are some deeper bunkers in here. For the most part, you can recover out of them though. Now we fasted it again, which I've been doing a lot of lately. But again, a lot of green break. So while it's not a gimme, it's a lot easier than some of the putts we've been seeing. Let's see what we get. Moderate greens too, so you can attack a little bit for round 1. Now, don't get too crazy, but nope. See if we can make a big one. Pushed it a little bit. Damn. Oh, I wish I would have pushed it. That's a bummer. We at least get our par. On to the next. Try a little par 3. And it's short because it is way downhill, and for this, you got a big wind coming at you, so for this, we gotta add 15, take us to 148. But we also have probably a 15-mile-an-hour wind at our back, so just to be safe, we'll deal off just a touch. And we fasted it, so it's probably gone. Yeah. Bummer. Oh, we got a shot at maybe making this. Yes. Ah, man. Almost got our chip in. Almost got our chip in. All right, another one of these holes where it's like, distance isn't king. Like, if I was to actually play this course, I might actually bring in a shorter driver, and you'll see another instance as to why I want a shorter driver as well. So, like the 287 would probably be pretty good here. I think there's a 282 as well. I don't remember which one it is, but that one would also be probably pretty good here. The 295 almost just gives you too much, honestly, which is crazy, but in a lot of instances, it gives you too much club. And this is one that you want to be on the fairway because this is your second shot in. It's a behemoth. I have a feeling this is probably going to be one of the main holes that a lot of people are going to drop strokes on. You have to hit fairway, and then once you hit fairway, you're going to be bringing in this long 3-iron. You're going to be bringing in, you know, a hybrid, a 5-wood. It is a long second shot in that if you miss the fairway, it just becomes that much harder to get up and down from par. Also with these greens, you want to get down and look at this thing to make sure it's straight. There's been a lot of instances where there's no break, but then in the middle of the grid, there's break. So where the beads aren't, there's break. So make sure you get down and look at these putts. I pushed it. We're all right though. Like I noticed a lot where the break occurred slightly into the middle. All right, this is one where distance is king. So I'm in between clubs again. I have to take a 3-wood in, but this is a very tough par 3. If you end in the front side bunker, it's not the end of the world. You do not want to come up here into these bunkers though, because if you get a downhill lie, you're coming into a downhill sloping green, and if you fast your shot coming in, you're gonna roll it all the way down. So try not to go long. If anything, come up short. You'll club up a couple on your splash shot, and you know you'll go from there. This really works against us because I'd like to fade this in. This will work. We're chipping. Just don't go in the bunkers. Chips are fine. It's the bunker where you're splashing out that it becomes a problem. We're still on a little bit of a... It's not flat, but it's still not a terrible lie from here. Ah! Almost nailed it. Ideally, I'd like to fade this in. The wind just doesn't allow us to do that. Sucks, but is what it is. All right, here's the other instance where I say that 287 or even the 282 would be perfect. Because, again, here, I have to partial shot this. I can't take this 295 all the way in. I have to take this at a partial shot. So, for the sake of trying to hit this green in particular, to maybe get some strokes back, A shorter driver may be the answer this week. Not the big boy Bridgestone like I usually use. Like I said, if I was to actually play this course, I might drop it down to around the 280 mark on a driver. It just plays better. Oh boy. Well, that is absolutely not ideal. This is the first time I've been over here. This is pretty bad. I just gotta try to get this up. What a recovery. Holy cow. That might be one of the best shots for recovery I've ever made. We can at least save par here. Don't go over there. Also, this is one of the toughest greens on the course, just so you all are aware. You could definitely find yourself in a bit of trouble if you're not safe here. Let's bury this for birdie and make one of the wildest up and down birdies I think I've ever had. Close. That'd have been something. Just to get par from there is actually phenomenal. But again, I wouldn't have to partial that. Probably hit a better golf shot if I had a shorter driver. Another instance, where just shorter clubs. It's just, I really don't think the play is the longest clubs. It will for some of the holes, of course, but you can also try to partial and just play for a par. And take the extra forgiveness. Take the extra swing plane for a lot of your clubs. Oh, I'm fasting a ton. And boy, is it unfortunate. Maybe? Oh, man. Edge burner. Ha. Dang it. Man, I'm actually not shooting too well. I've been averaging about 8 under here. Not ideal. Another hole where you can take the big boy in. It's tough to get there in 2. You have to deal with the water. So, I mean, I say the play for this is to play it short, play it up in here, or if you can get it up in here, to play it here, and then have your third shot coming in. I would say that that is the best scenario to do this. I've never been able to get there in 2 successfully. You can get ballsy, which I might actually try to do. You can get ballsy and driver it, which I've done a couple of times, and I usually end up in the water. But hey, we're here. Let's try it. Might as well, you know? What's it gonna hurt? Good to see what actually happens. Because we're going in the water. This is what I always do. So you can get ballsy if you want. Like I said, best thing to do is to play it up in here. Play it short here. Have 150 to go. But if you're in a bind and you're like, man, I really need to get an eagle here, you know, maybe the round hasn't been going like you've wanted it to, like you really need to get one, You can try. But you're gonna end up in a scenario like I'm in right now, where I am chipping for par, missing it, and dropping back to even. Hell, maybe even a double bogey. Not just a bogey. Back to even par. So at the end of the day, it's up to you. Another one that you can just lay up, which I'm actually going to do with the wind the way it is. I might have to actually go through and recalibrate. Holy cow. I am just fasting every single shot on areas that we do not want to be fasting. This is what I was talking about. You miss the fairway, and trying to recover from here is not fun. I think it's going to be absolutely torn on the tours. People who are... Oh, wow, that came out super clean. People who are able to hit the fairways and score well. There's people who aren't able to hit the fairways and kind of get left behind. Like me. Like me. I'm in between clubs. You don't have to be. There's definitely a 4-iron that's longer, and I'm sure a lot of you play it. I'm in between, but... Man, don't take this round to heart, huh? This is tough. Just not shooting well. To be honest, I haven't been shooting well for like almost a week now. I have flashes of it, but boy, we can't stay consistent, that's for sure. Gripper and rip it. You're gonna have a pretty long second shot coming in. You just gotta hit the fairway. I gotta hit the fairway here. If you're light rough, you're fine. Heavy, you're gonna have a tough go of things coming in. Oh, wind. Dang, that didn't do nearly as much as I thought it was going to do. That's a bummer. Gonna take home another par. This is actually the worst round I've shot here. Surprising enough. Just play it to the left. Take the roll where you get it. Just play it to the left. Honestly, fasting everything. It's insane. I wanted to slow it, not very slow it. That's okay. We'll get our par. par it is. Some of these holes are pretty straightforward. For round number 1, yeah, play this out to the left. There's a little bit of a hill that you can actually work with a little bit on the left side of the green if you need to, but definitely play this left. I mean, you could play it out to the right, you'll still have a shot. And I actually brought it a little bit more right than I want to. You want to try to keep this as left as possible, just so you have a lot of green to work with. This is the little, if you want to try to work with this, you can. You can play it off the fairway and have it roll into it. Maybe give it a little bit of a fade. That is a play. I can actually show you. I could probably do it right here, honestly. Might be able to. Yeah, let's try it. Like that. If you're worried about, you know, going the bunker, going long, you can play this little hill out. You'll have a little bit of a putt coming in unless you hit a really good shot. Like, I probably could have faded that a lot more and brought it in. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of ways to attack this hole on the first round, and a lot of the times you're gonna have an eagle putt coming in because it's a short par 5. And again, distance is a king. You don't need a ton of distance to get here for an eagle putt. Not enough. At least we'll get it back to even par. Jeez, oh Pete's. Another one of these. This is one of the narrowest fairways I've ever seen. Really, for this, whatever you're most comfortable with. I've been aiming it over here, taking the wind and trying to bring it back into the fairway. You could play it back and maybe try to play in here. Honestly, if you hit it into the rough, it's actually not that bad of a recovery, just because of how short this hole is. We're gonna try to aim it out and have the wind bring it back. And get it into the fairway like that. I would say it's just really, it's whatever you're comfortable with for this one. Passes it again, like every other shot. Use this with the wedge. See if we can make another birdie here. Break. Nice. All right, another birdie in the bag. Let's go. Let's try to bring this back. Another hole where I suggest you try to shoot the gap here and lay it up. You can go through here with this wind. Our 295 might actually be okay. The wind might beat it down enough. But just try to shoot the gap in here. Try to land it in this opening right here. That's what you should be aiming for here. It's the safest play. You're going to be coming into an elevated green. Yeah, we'll take light rough. That's all right. Even if you go into the heavy rough, it's not the end of the world. You should be okay. You should be able to recover from it. So you can be a little aggressive if you'd like. continue our fasting ways. But we'll have a putt at it. A little bit of a breaker. Hard? No. Man, really shouldn't have gave it the extra. I thought maybe because this break at our feet was a little bit more, I had to give it a little bit extra. Yeah, I shouldn't have. That would have been perfect, right on the dot. Another short par 3 for us. Downhill again. But you have a bowl to work with on hole number 1, so you're good to go. Probably, maybe gonna be a pin up here somewhere at some point in time. You said you got a bowl to work with. Don't be afraid. If you go a little long, it's okay. You should roll back some. You just don't want to be... Just don't hit it too long, because that putt's impossible. Not impossible, but... Like, if you end up hitting it up here, good luck. Or even over here, good luck. So try to avoid that at all costs. Hit it short if you have to. Breaks a little bit to the right at my feet. See if we can get a big pie here. Too hard? No, good again. Man, that broke heavy left. Okay. That's kind of unfortunate. That was a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be. Par it is. And our final hole, par 5. One that you can make. So try to keep it in the fairway. To the best of your ability. Even if you have a shorter driver, you should still be able to make it there, even if you have to take a driver off the deck. Just try to keep it in the fairway, because you can make it and end on an eagle. Got a heavy wind in our back, too, so... Got that going for us. Ended on an Albatross. Bad bounce. But, like most of the greens here, she's a pretty flat. So, let's see if we can drain home an eagle putt. And this might actually be flat. It might break slightly to the left. Very, very slightly. Let's see. See if we can end it on an eagle and a 3 under. For still probably one of my worst rounds here. I pushed it. It did break slightly to the left, but... I pushed it a little bit. That's unfortunate. Still got a birdie. 2 under round that we got there. I mean, you go off the path. 50% fairway in regulation. I just didn't have the recoveries like I have been doing there. So, like I said, you got to keep it in the fairway. And I think shorter, more forgiving clubs is going to help you do that. At the end of the day, though, it's up to you. It's your choice, of course. I can only give you what I'm thinking and what I would maybe do coming into this week. So take this as you will, but scores are out there at this course, especially with these greens. They are out there in droves. So hopefully some of you watching this maybe get some of those rounds where you're shooting 9, 10, 12 under is my best round here. It is very scoreable, but if you get in trouble, it can punish you. So go forth and conquer, everybody. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video. Think about subscribing to the channel. These are now coming every Sunday because I want to play the round 1 conditions for everybody. But we have other content. Some NHL content, some PGA content, Baldur's Gate, all sorts of stuff coming to the channel. So if you're interested in any of that, think about subscribing, turn on notifications, and come on back for some more content into your eyeballs. Hope you have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, though, wherever you are in the world. Good luck on your rounds, and we'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.